Hello. Hi, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the finals of Moledao's inaugural Web 3.0 Hackathon. I'm your host today, Alvin, Partnerships and Community Manager at Moledao. And I'd like to thank all of you, judges, speakers, and most importantly, our participants for joining us in our first hackathon. I hope all of you have learned new things throughout this whole process. We received a lot of fantastic submissions from teams all over the world, and our judges faced the difficult task of narrowing the list down to 9 teams. 3 of these 9 teams will walk away with our first, second, and third prizes over the next 2 days. I'd like to emphasize to all the other participants that we have plans to support you in continuing to develop your projects, even if you don't win any of these 3 top prizes. We're going to begin today with speeches by 2 of Moledao's sponsors and closest partners, Polygon and Mars Protocol. Following that, we will listen to pitches by 3 finalists from the DAO track, with each team having 10 minutes to pitch their projects. We will then have a 10-minute break where you are encouraged to explore the cryptovoxels space we have created for the event. Following the break, the judges will have a 10-minute Q&A session where they can ask questions and give feedback to the teams. Next, we will have the pitches from the multi-chain dApp finalists, followed by a break and the Q&A session with the judges. We will end today with a speech by our surprise guest, Ben Zhou, CEO of Bybit. Thanks once again to all of you for joining us today. So without further ado, please welcome Cora, Polygon's head of China, our first speaker for today.
Hello, everyone.
Hi. Yeah, Cora, please go ahead.
Okay. Shall I share my screen?
Yeah, if you have anything to share, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Let me share my pipelines. Is there any buttons like to let me see. Hello, everyone. I'm Cora, the Polygon head of China. So it's like today, let me introduce something about Polygon and myself. So first of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Cora. So it's like I graduated from Monash University, majoring in accounting and finance. So it's like I knew blockchain and it's like Bitcoin was in 2017. So like afterwards I started to be like the market trader, and of course I built my own communities and did some marketing operations for some projects. So it's like basically I have more than like 5 years of community operation and marketing operation in this industry. Yeah. So like based on these pictures, like I think everyone knows like what blockchain is like currently is trying to serve. Like actually we have 3 problems: scalability, security, and decentralization. Yeah. And for some public chains, I really focus on scalability and decentralization. And Ethereum focuses on security and decentralization. Actually, it's like it is hard to find a public chain has scalability, security, and decentralization, all 3 features all together. And what do we say a really good infrastructure can provide developers a huge imagination. Ethereum is the one. It has strong consensus, and a larger number of developers know its technique. So what Polygon is doing, Polygon was an EVM sidechain. Now Polygon is a layer 2 full stack scaling aggregator. And also we are focusing on the development of ZK. The app developing on Ethereum can be easily moved to Polygon. We can say if a developer knows how to develop on Ethereum, he definitely knows how to develop on Polygon. That's why so many projects like Wave, Curve, Decentraland, Uniswap, Sandbox, etc. Those really good projects join the Polygon ecosystem. Like also Polygon provide a really cheap gas fee. I remember a few months ago, I purchased a blind box on Ethereum, cost me 0.05 Ethereum, and the gas fee cost me 0.02 ETH, which was really expensive. But the gas fee of Polygon is few cents and even lower than 1 cent. It results in projects come to Polygon because maybe previously their application cannot be used because of the high gas fee. So what Polygon's vision is, Polygon wants to be Ethereum layer 2 scaling aggregator. Yeah, and what we can say is we want to be Ethereum's Internet of Blockchains. Let me introduce a little bit about the Polygon. So previously we called Matic. Our co-founder are JD, Arjun, and Sandeep. They were previously they were developers of Ethereum. So actually based on the team members, Polygon is really know about Ethereum. And also, like I want to mention is Polygon was founded in 2017. So like based on like through the like 17, 18, 19. It's like actually it's like we have like more years, and now it's like previously just the EVM sidechain, and now become the layer 2. It's like a full stack scaling aggregator. So we experienced a lot. What Polygon have today, we have 100% compatibility of Ethereum, and also like we provide extremely low transaction fees. We have 7 to 9 million daily transactions, and also we have like more than 100 million unique addresses. And of course, we have more than 3,000 projects in our ecosystems. Let's talk about some technique things, like even actually I really focus on marketing parts. So like we have data on chain and data off chain. So it is our core feature. So we will use Plasma for the scaling and POS sidechain. Now we are focusing on ZK development. So this table shows comparing with other public chains. Actually, Polygon it is really friendly like to Ethereum developers. For compatibility, there is EVM strong compatibility and EVM weak compatibility. Definitely, Polygon is the EVM strong compatibility. So about the Polygon technical structure, actually we have like 4 parts. So Polygon finished the development of our mainnet. Afterwards, we will focus on execution layer, which means we really focus on the tooling part. For SDK, actually, we announced the SDK in May of last year. So SDK aims to turn Ethereum into a full-fledged multi-chain system by introducing structure to this organic ecosystem and providing a framework for a multi-chain Ethereum to grow further and faster. So for example, if like Injective can use SDK to be the sidechain of EVM. Yeah, that's the example. And also Maiden. So at the end of last year, Polygon announced the Maiden. So Maiden is like the stack-based, the EVM compatible rollup. So Maiden is trying to help rollup to solve some problems. We all know like rollup can help to solve the transaction speed and like gas fee problem. Maiden is helping rollup to solve some problems such as data of chain transaction ability. I would like to show you guys the like a video like which I think like is really meaningful for Polygon in 2021. This video is produced by our agency. Yeah. Yeah, actually, it's like last year we grew really fast, and then it's like there were so many good projects like join the Polygon ecosystem, and then whenever it's a market performance or the technical performance or the ecosystem performance, we did really good last year, and we hope like we can be better for the coming year. Yeah. So this picture shows like the DeFi applications like last year joined the Polygon. Yeah. And this picture shows like we know last year gaming was really heated, like heated up. And then like so many gaming projects, whenever metaverse or SocialFi and NFT projects join the Polygon. Yeah, those are just some examples about the projects. So last year in June, actually, we built Polygon Studios. That studios is mainly focused on gaming projects. Yeah, and we provide $100 million for the gaming projects. Yeah, and we provide grants and we provide marketing support and also the promotional support. And also we will provide some guidance about the technical part. Yeah, and like even like those projects, they need the incubators like we can introduce to them. So we think it's really it's like for gaming and whenever an NFT or metaverse. So afterwards, more and more projects will come out. That's why we really focus on this part. And also we have another department focus on DeFi. Yeah, so it's like we welcome all the projects whenever it's DeFi or gaming or tooling projects. If you guys are interested in Polygon, we would like you to join our ecosystem. Thank you.
All right. Thanks a lot, Cora. So Moledao is proud to be a partner with Polygon. Polygon has actually provided a bounty for our first hackathon. So we are going to finalize a list of all the projects that have met the criteria with Polygon, and we'll announce the list of participants very soon in collaboration with Polygon. And we plan to have like joint bounties and projects in the future as well. So thanks a lot to Cora. So coming up next is our next speaker, Suji Yan, the CEO and co-founder of Mask.io. So yeah, please stay tuned. And Suji is going to introduce a bit about how Mask solves different problems, especially in the building bridges between chains. So all right, please let me check with my teammates. In the meantime, okay. Oh, okay. I see Suji has joined the room.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Suji. Yeah, nice to meet you. So yeah, please welcome Suji. He's going to talk a bit about how Mask works with integrating social media with Web 3.0.
Thank you. I got 15 minutes, right?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. And thank you for having me. I'm really a big fan of every DAO. So I'm sure you can see me at most of the DAO event. And today I'd love to share our story, the Mask network, and especially the Web 3.0 journal that we have. Okay, is that good right now?
Yeah, I can see your screen. Yeah.
Okay, great. So today I'd like to talk a little bit more about the Web 3.0, especially about the decentralized social network, entering the decentralized new internet with the Mask network. In the very beginning, I'd like to tell a little bit again about Web 3.0. I believe most of the listener audience here already been, bombed by this buzzword since the congressional hearing, and we have those, great definition of Web 3.0. My definition is a little bit different, but it's a little bit short, very concise. In my opinion, Web 2 is feudalism, and Web 3 is the early and free capitalism we have. Still don't really have all of it, but still trying to have more in the offline world. And in cyberspace, unfortunately, we are mostly controlled by the feudalism Web 2.0, so-called walled garden platform, that the platform owner like Facebook and Zuckerberg is the king, and it's a kingdom. The Web 3.0 is trying to break that. There's many ways to break that, right? There's a different attempt from the decentralized finance, from the cultural revolution and the art revolution like NFT. And when we think about the decentralized social network, or social network in general, which is most of the people use every day in the Web 2.0 and even Web 1.0, it's going to be a very difficult problem to migrate. There's going to be a different thing to conquer compared to the NFT and DeFi. And the problem we have witnessed is very, very interesting, right? We witnessed the booming of application like Telegram, which is trying to be all-in-one social connection platform. It's really great, created by the Dwarf brother, and they attempt to decentralize as the Telegram open network, and they failed. Ends up the transaction cost or the migrating cost is just too high for even great application like Telegram. It's never possible for the user to say, okay, let's just agree to move ourselves into Telegram, into a new application, into a new Twitter, a new Facebook, a new WhatsApp, no matter how wonderful it is. And then when you think about the hardcore service, the most interesting example will be the Tor network, which is also famous for the dark web, right? For the deep web, the .onion domain in these network. They're famous for the hardcore user and geek users, and it's hard to use, and it's despised by the mainstream. If your friend tell me like, hey, dude, don't add me on Facebook and Twitter, find me on the .onion domain, you're gonna think, oh, this guy is, suspicious. It's a little bit better when you tell your friend, just connect me on, suji.eth. A little bit better, but honestly, it's still questioned by the mainstream. The mainstream can always question, like, why do we need a different domain system, different name system, different all these things? And it seems like most of the use case are criminal activities, right? And then the question, when I joined the industry as a founder, as an entrepreneur, is, okay, can we, is that possible to enjoy the Web 3.0 world? It's a great open new world on top of the existing internet platforms, or more specifically, Web 2 mainstream monopolized platforms, such as Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. Maybe the case will be, all right, can I send my friend money on Twitter? Remember when we started this is around 2017, 2018. There's no blue sky. There's no attempt of Twitter. Can I, instead of sending NFTs through a wallet, can I send NFTs through Instagram? Because most of my Instagram friends are artists and professional models. They post pictures, and they actually just like NFTs. Here's the meme picture we did, just like creating a mask over top of the giants, and mask logo is in between that. Imagine that there will be a huge mask built on top of the existing Web 2 and connect the Web 2 to the Web 3. So how that work is we make the big companies our infrastructures. And more specifically, I'd love to show you the details later on. More specifically, we can do all these amazing things, just for example, right on top of Twitter. For example, I can send you an encrypted message. This is for the Brave browser guys. Hey, hi Brave guys, love your cool browser. This is all encrypted, and when you send over Twitter cannot see it. And then we partner with the Arweave and Filecoin, which become our investor in recent round, become a strategic investor with Swapsum token. When you send over message on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, you can just say, okay, not only message, I also want to send some files, right, through the Arweave and Filecoin. So we did integration, and they create some application on top of that. Again, this is beyond Twitter, beyond Instagram, beyond everything the platform can control. Then last year, we started to have 2020, no, actually 2 years ago, right? That's almost 2 years ago. 2020, February, we started to have more interesting integration with the help of the Ethereum Foundation OGs and the founder Vitalik and many other DeFi early pioneer. So we create this lucky job or air job functionality. Again, there's nothing centralized. There's no server. There's no API used. There's no communication to the Twitter team or the Facebook team. Completely decentralized and serverless. And you can use Ethereum or any mainstream EVM, compatible chain to say, okay, I'll send some money on Twitter. And if you're a friend of me or a friend of Vitalik, you can claim the money on the on Twitter. And so VB sent over some tweets, some money on Twitter. And then we have this cool integration. Again, this is on the BSC and on the Polygon. And we're coming to all these major EVM compatible chains. Again, this is decentralized completely, even though you feel like you're on Twitter. And yes, you're on Twitter. Just by install a small extension on your browser, you own the Web3 capability and use the Web2 infrastructure. Here comes the NFT. So you can also buy and sell NFTs and drop NFTs on Twitter when also coming to Instagram. So you can put NFTs in a mask box that you can just choose your best. You can just say pay 0.1 ETH and let the randomization algorithm choose the best NFT for you. You can play a game with a friend. It's a good launch mechanism for the NFT projects. And recently, our Mathbox launched a great NFT project. Maybe it's still new for many Western users. It's called Fantabel. It's the J Cho's cool NFT. Check out on OpenSea. We used the Mathbox to launch that, and now it become like I think number 3 project of OpenSea already. And then then we have the NFT, or when you send your friends some token, definitely want to show that hey, I'm different. I'm someone from the Web3, right? So we have the verifiable NFT avatar. Actually, we are also founding member, early community founding member. There's no founder, but we are founding member, early member of Blue Sky. Blue Sky is created by, initiated by Twitter and endorsed by Jack Dorsey. Back in the days, he was still at Twitter as CEO, late 2090 November. And later on, Jen used to work at Zcash, become the head of Blue Sky. Blue Sky is, promoting all the decentralized technology, not only Bitcoin, Ethereum, but in general, try to say, hey, can we build the social protocol? It's growing slowly. I have to admit that it's origin from Twitter, though there's some big company legacy, but it's very interesting. And you may heard of the Twitter integration, but overall we delivered that first, and we have a lot of conversation with Blue Sky and many other people in the Blue Sky and in the Twitter team. Now this is a case of our Cyberpunk verified by the mask extension on Twitter. And then there's the Web3 tab, because Web3 is not only about DeFi, NFT, it's also about DAO, right? And I think the audience here definitely know the constitutional DAO story. They raised the $40 million to secure the constitution. Even though they failed, it's still a legendary story, right? So we we collaborate with many other third-party servers, and there's many great community developer. And finally, we integrate this Juicebox as a DAO tooling tool platform. There's many other DAO platforms, and we integrate that right on top of Twitter. So here's the Web3 tab. You can check out your NFTs and your DAOs. For example, here's the Constitution DAO. You can check out how many governance tokens they issued, the voting ongoing right on top of Twitter. So it makes Twitter, it feels like when you first use Twitter, you don't have hashtag. People invent the hashtag for Twitter years after their launch. Now we invent the Web3 functionality for Twitter and for Facebook, for Instagram, for Reddit, for anything you can imagine, and you can program on top. Here's the integration with the RSS-Bio. The RSS3 is another project we are investing and backing a lot. This is very interesting. I believe if you use that on the real browser, I'm happy to show off my Fantabel, my cool NFT. All right, let's go. So this is with all the buzzword. What is the masking about, right? So let's go to this place and check out the Web3 tab. So I got some VPN issue, but you're gonna see these bears and more interestingly, your donations to the Gitcoin. We have partnership with Gitcoin, and your footprint, which is your metaverse party pull-ups on Twitter. And it can, I haven't involved in any DAO under this ENS, but you can check my ENS and you can check the DAO involvement I have. Yeah. And I can tweet an encrypted post for any friend. Hey, DAO friend. And I may even encrypt some money into so whoever see that, and that's the mass network. And beyond that, we have more ongoing. So here today we have a hackathon, right? And it's all about developers and creators and builders. The key, I think the key of success of the mass network, by the way, we already launched our token. You can find it anywhere in any major exchange. I think the key of success, not only for mass, but also for all the prayer grade DeFi NFT innovation, and even in Ethereum itself, and other layer ones, is the decentralization community and building. So the cool part is you can build something on top of Mask. We have a standard SDK. So through this SDK, you can build something on top of Mask. Today, you can just write something like, I want to do pay to unlock. I want to do a fan clap for the Twitter user. I want to do a social token. I want to do an NFT social clap for the Instagram, fans. You can do all the amazing things. And we're providing the general layer of connection between the Web2 and the Web3. So when you want to do something on the Instagram, you don't need to go to an Instagram. You go to Mask, and we're all open, completely open source, completely serverless. And when you go to when you do something on top of Twitter, well, you can definitely go to Blue Sky, but likely you cannot get any API. But you can use Mass Network. You do something on top. You can build some DAO over the Twitter page. So that's the story of Mass Network. Today we have a judge from our ecosystem and tech team, gonna guide you on the details. And we are one of the long-term partners of Gitcoin. There's around 20-ish or 30-ish open grant and bounty on Gitcoin. Check out Mass.io and check out our GitHub, check out Telegram. Let's keep in touch. And I believe that in the next few years, any developer can create a decentralized application right on top of the Web2 platform connected through Mask website today. And thank you for listening.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Suji. Thanks for telling us a bit about Mars and your future plans. Like, it's very interesting to know how like different platforms and protocols are building social for Web3, and Mars is going about it in a very interesting way, like by integrating extensively with Twitter, as well as other social media platforms like Instagram. So yeah, thanks for sharing that with us. At Moledao, we have like further partnerships planned with Mars. So we plan to offer bounties that are offered by Mars as well. So yeah, stay tuned for like further news regarding that. So yeah, next we are coming up to the main event of the day, the finals of the hackathon. So first of all, we will have the DAO track for where like 3 of our finalists for the DAO track are going to pitch themselves for 10 minutes each. And our judges are going to have like a 10 minutes break to consider their options, and following a 10 minutes Q&A session where they can ask questions of the teams, give any feedback, and give their scores. So I'll introduce our judges for today. We have Mark Lurie, CEO and co-founder of Shipyard, which has produced Clipper, one of the cheapest decentralized exchanges available for smaller accounts. Sam from Superfluid. So Superfluid helps DAOs handle their finances, among other things. Brian from Polygon. Taylor from Mars Network. So that's from Suji's own company. Eyal from DeepDAO. So these are, and as well as Tony from NGC Ventures, Terence Tan from the University of Oulu in Finland, and Rose from Kernel Ventures. So as well as a great protocol, one of the leading DAOs on the Solana network is also joining us today. So yeah, please welcome all our judges. And today, the list of our teams for the DAO track starts from DigiFund. So DigiFund is a team based out of China where they're trying to do a DAO that's based on digital entertainment on the metaverse. Chords, KORDZ. So their Chords is actually launched by an individual participant, Callista. So she's just a student doing a decentralized music owning platform. And finally, Level 1. Level 1 is a learning and development platform designed for decentralized communities to tap into the full awesomeness of their membership. So so let's begin with DigiFund for tonight. DigiFund, are you Bruce? Bruce from DigiFund will present a bit on their team for 10 minutes. So please welcome Bruce. Hi, Bruce. Are you there? So I'm gonna ping him. Oh, you can't hear my voice? Hello? Yeah, can you say something? Can you unmute yourself?
Hey, Alvin.
Hello. Hey, is that Bruce? Hey, yeah, I can. Hi, I can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah, hello, Bruce. You are muted, Bruce.
Okay, so I'm gonna start.
Okay, so hello everyone. We are DigiFund. Our position is, sorry, I will share my screen first. Share screen. Oh. Okay, can everyone see my screen?
Yes, yes.
Okay, yeah, so I start. Okay, so hello everyone, we are DigiFund, and our position is a communication and organization platform of digital entertainment products in Metaverse. And there are many Metaverse platforms. DigiFund focuses on Decentraland, Sandbox, and cryptovoxels. At present, we are mainly doing wearables on Decentraland for two reasons. The first reason is that Decentraland pays more attention to social activities, which makes people have greater demand for dressing and styling. The second reason is that the Decentraland has low poly style graphics. In this way, the display effect of wearables products will be more detailed. Recently, we are also planning for Sandbox and cryptovoxel and trying to sell more types of NFTs such as buildings. And the NFT market booms for a long time, so I won't go into details. I'll focus on the fact that Metaverse share of the total NFT market is growing, which is a very good sign of market growth. The figure doesn't take into account last year, but with Metaverse rapid rollout in the last year, we can even looking forward to seeing a better future. All right, so let's talk about some famous wearable brands in Decentraland. We see three brands: Polygon on Mind, this one, best known for building in Metaverse, but recently doing some wearables. Hiroto Kai, this is, sorry, can you hear me? I'll try to figure my max. Cool, okay. So yeah, Hiroto Kai, a personal artist brand created by the official art director of Decentraland and has relatively early popularity. And finally, Artifact. This brand is a brand with the largest capital scale in Metaverse, mainly promotes itself through marketing methods similar to traditional fashion brands. And yeah, our investigation found that almost all of the Metaverse brands on the chain operates in a centralized way, including above three examples. So we came up with the idea of creating a DAO organization in Metaverse. And after research, we found that Metaverse players were also interested in such an organization. So we decided to create DigiFund DAO. DigiFund DAO consists of several different community member groups. We have designers, modelers, proposers, decision makers, etc. Of course, one person can have many roles. DigiFund's creative output and major decisions are held through DAO votings. In addition, we do not vote with tokens, and instead, community members who holding our NFTs have voting rights. And yeah, we'll talk about this later. And here's the example of our production process. So first, the community will brainstorm their ideas and we will put them to a vote. Multiple designers will adopt the idea with the most votes and present their designs for this idea. After designs are finished, we'll sum up them and launch the final votes. The design with the most votes will be accepted and made into a model for sale. So yeah, the diagram here shows the process and time of the whole production. It usually takes like half a month for NFT to go from idea to shelf. And next is an introduction to the voting mechanism. So we gave 15% of voting power in the form of the non-transferable NFT assets to experienced designers, consultants, and early active players in our community. The remaining 85 will allocate them to the NFT we produced in the next 18 months. And the exact proportion of the allocation follows this exponential formula given here. Yeah. And beside the voting rights, we also give community members dividends to encourage them to hold our products and actively join votings. We gave 50% of all DigiFund profits to our team and the remaining 50% to DAO members. And 60 of DAO parts will go to the members who hold our NFT in accordance with the voting power. And the remaining 40% will go to the members who vote on our proposal each month in accordance to the voting power as well. Yeah, here's some production shows. Yeah, there are just some our products NFT shows which are basically our bias shows. This is Evil Snowman, Ninja Suit, and yeah, Baby Devil, Ice Shadow. And currently we also have a small land on Decentraland. And yeah, this is land we bought, and we trying to build our official store on here. And we are also working with other landowners, and later there will be more lands for DigiFund to organize different events. And here's a simple roadmap. So yeah, our plan of the year 2022, in the first quarter of the year, we will officially launch in the other metaverse platforms, build our stores, and open joint cooperations and activities with other brands. In Q2, we'll focus on developing a new function on our website that allows players to buy a wearable just once from our website and then can wear in all major metaverse. So that's one click for all. At the same time, our platform will also be open to other designers. They can put their NFTs works on our website through the approval of the DAO. In Q3 and after, we'll be looking for big IP partnerships, building brand awareness, and actively maintaining sites so that our DAO members can feel the new possibilities. And here's a quick look at the status of DigiFund now. So at present, we have a large creative arts team, all graduates from different top universities, like CAF in China, UAL, UCL, RCA in UK, and there are also many artists from Italy and individual designers in the industry. All right, and these are some contributors, and yeah, here's our artists. This is some of our artists, and this is some very early active community members. And yeah, here's our core contributors. We can give you guys a short introduction. And yeah, starting from Audrey.
Hi, I'm Audrey. Hi.
Hello, I'm Zia.
Hello, I'm Momo.
Hello, I'm Gary.
Yeah, I'm Bruce who's speaking. And yeah, thank you for watching.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Bruce. So we are going to have a 10-minute Q&A session after the two other teams have presented, as well as like after a 10-minute break. So yeah, just you can feel free to explore our cryptovoxels space and have a rest for now. So coming up next is going to be Chords, KORDZ, with Callista. So Callista, has Callista joined the call? Oh, okay. If she's not on the call yet, then we'll
sorry,
go with...
I think I can't hear your voice. Maybe I can change another.
Okay, so let's go with level one. Level one will be the next team that's presenting. Yeah, with Ray, Kanani, and Adam.
Awesome. Well, excited to be here. Hopefully you can all hear me. I'm going to jump in and share my screen quickly. Okay, cool. So quickly, just going to jump into a couple of slides, talk about our team and the problem, and then I'll get into the live demo. So Ray here and Adam also on the call from level one. We met a few months ago during kind of a team pairing exercise. And we came up with the idea of level one to help communities activate the power of its membership. We're spending some time thinking about how much we love Web3 and decentralization and this idea of the collective wisdom of the crowd, especially as it applies to decentralized autonomous organizations. And I think that the value prop here about kind of community-driven projects is you get to leverage the energy and the wisdom of, you know, in some DAOs, thousands of members. The challenge is when we talk to many DAOs and when we talk to many DAO interested people, although these communities have thousands of members, they only actually have a handful of active participants. And so we're thinking, how do we change that? What is the problem? And so we came up with a persona, Jane. Jane is real. We've met many people like them. In fact, we are Jane ourselves too. And Jane joined XDAO a week ago, and she logs into Discord and is immediately overwhelmed by new terms, topics, and speed of this thing called Web3. This happens over and over again as people are interested in DAOs and they join and get dropped into this incredible energy, but it is also incredibly intimidating. And because of this, although Jane keeps hearing that Web3 communities are the future, she starts to worry that the future isn't interested in her. And this feeling comes from this idea that Web3 is doing its own thing and relies on people who are don't understand Web3 to adapt and learn on their own time, learn about Discord, learn about wallets, learn about all these new terms like shilling and rug pulls. And most people have other stuff going on in their life and are intimidated and don't go on that journey to learn and meet Web3 where it is, where Web3 is today. On the flip side, we have Marcos. He's a community manager for the DAO, and he's super excited about all these new members coming in, but he continues to see low engagement, and it's keeping him up at night because he knows that tapping into the energy and skills of people like Jane is critical to the future and growth of the community that he manages, and is critical to the impact of Web3. So when members are afraid to play, communities aren't able to meet its potential. Well, welcome level 1. We took inspiration from video games, and we found that really great video games have an amazing level 1 experience that allows you to learn about the new characters, powers, worlds, rewards, missions, and really sets you up for success as you go on to that level 2. And so that's what we want to build, this community-based learn to earn experience. And for community managers, this is incredibly powerful because now for all those new members coming in, they actually start to participate and engage, which is exactly what they're looking for. On the flip side, we think about Jane. Through level 1, she's able to set up her wallet. She's able to mint some tokens. She's able to receive an NFT to show that she's her amazing accomplishments, and just recognize Jane for who she is and where she's at. She starts to build that confidence that she can actually make a difference and is valued in these Web3 communities. With that confidence, she's able to engage in proposals and collaborate with other community members that she's also met on the Discord, but also through level 1. You know, those new to Web3, interacting with each other, learning from each other, and being able to connect and share their stories. Within level 1, we have a tokenomic system that we're exploring, this idea that a level 1 token can be issued to those that complete the learning, so go through these learning journeys, but also to those that create learning journeys. And so when you create a learning journey, the thinking is that you get tokens. When people complete those learning journeys, the guides of those learning journeys also receive tokens, but the learners do too. So we're trying to build that kind of closed loop flywheel of token incentives, of creating learnings and completing learnings. So enough with the slides, let's jump into the demo. Pull this down quickly. So we have a live decentralized app. It's the level 1.vercel.app. We're working on getting a domain. I can go in, I can discover level 1s. And so here we have popular level 1s from the different DAOs that exist. But we're also thinking about that everyone is a beginner at something in Web3. We're seeing mental health come up over and over again in Web3, and we think it'd be really cool to have learning journeys for folks about being trauma-informed, mental health first aid, or what does it mean to have a growth mindset? So it's not just, we see level 1 as being a really powerful tool for new folks coming into Web3, but also people who have been in Web3 for a while and just want to upskill in different areas. Also micro level 1, so learning about Discord, learning about Git, learning about wallets, POAPs. There will continue to be these new kind of powers that exist within Web3 that we think everyone will find useful in just going through a quick learning journey to learn about what they are and how to use them. So I'm going to click on the Gitcoin DAO onboarding. Here I can see who my guide is. I can see how many people have completed it. I can see some testimonials about it. Let's just go in and start. So I can see that there's a welcome message from my guide. I can see that there are other folks completing this learning journey, and I can share reflections with them too. I can progress to the next step. Content types include YouTube videos, Notion links, blog articles, or content directly in level 1. We even have two-way kind of learning. So you can learn from the learners as well. You can ask them why they decided to join the DAO, what they're most excited about. And then you can also recognize them for their energy, for what they bring to the table, and just for participating in level 1. So here I got a helpful Husky for actually completing my first reflection, which is awesome. We go through the next steps, and I'm just going to quickly go through this. This isn't how someone would use it, would have gates so that people actually complete and reflect, but just for the demo. And then I'm going to finish the learning module. Amazing. I finished my first level 1. I learned with 4 other people. I received 5 high fives. I gave 8 high fives. Awesome. And I got NFT, and I was rewarded with 98 level 1 tokens. So let's go ahead and get those tokens. And so right now we're on testnet. I'll let Adam talk a little bit about our smart contract and also where we want to go while we wait for MetaMask to do its thing.
Hey everyone, and I'm Adam. A lot of the work that I did was around the smart contracts on our DApp, and essentially just setting up a intermediary kind of smart contract that was interacting with our ERC 20 smart contract, and then our NFT smart contract that essentially just listens to events coming from our DApp, and either mints or just disperses disperses tokens for us. The biggest consideration that we're trying to think of right now is, because our goal is to make this a very low stakes learning environment, is to get rid of these gas fees. So shooting for the end of the month to have our testnet DApp fully gasless, and also considering Polygon for having even lower transaction fees. I'm currently looking into Biconomy and all these other kind of APIs. But if we were to be paying for every course, you might as well just stick to YouTube. So it really defeats the purpose of the learn to earn model. So yeah, so that's the next immediate fast follows for us, is just really just getting rid of gas fees, and us covering the gas fees from our end. So yeah.
Yeah, and so it's an important milestone, and we hope to accomplish it in the next few weeks. Excited to explore Polygon there too. And so here you can see my level 1 NFT on OpenSea. What's also pretty cool is I can see all the other folks who have completed this and have this NFT as well. Very quickly, lots of opportunity here, but also being able to use these tokens. At some point, we want to convert these level one tokens to a governance token. We want to reward those folks who are creating learning journeys, completing learning journeys, and really want this to become a community-driven DAO tooling platform. So we're excited to serve DAOs. We have some exciting milestones coming up to pilot with some DAOs who have seen this and are really excited to use it to onboard new members. So that is level 1. Thank you. Appreciate your time.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Ray and Adam. Learn to earn model for DAOs. So yeah, so finally we have Courts, and so this is a solo project with Callista. So yeah, is Callista on the call? Okay, yeah, is she in this room? Okay, yeah. So yeah, please welcome Callista from Quartz. Yeah, Callista, please unmute yourself and go right ahead.
Sure. Let me share my screen. All right. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So hi, everyone. Happy to be here. So I'll be presenting my solution, the Quartz Marketplace, a decentralized music owning platform using Web3. So I'll introduce myself first. So I'm Callista, a 22-year-old student from Singapore. I interned at Apple and Goldman Sachs as a Web2 software engineer, and I'm a pianist and vocalist representing my school's jazz band. Technology and music are two things I'm super excited about, and that's why I want to build Quartz. Today, I'll be introducing the problem scope, some planned out features, the current proof of concept, and lastly, the future of Quartz. So firstly, let's talk about the current state of the Web2 music industry. It's to no one's surprise that Web2 music platforms neglect musicians. So on the left is a tweet by T-Pain that recently got viral with about 200,000 likes, showing the amount of streams it takes for an artist to earn $1. To earn a minimum wage in the USA, which is $1,200, your music must be streamed at least 235,000 times, which is simply not achievable for most musicians. So let's take a look at an average artist. So this is Burmese Bombshells. They're my good friends that I know in real life. So they're a 5-man band who was really popular in my school, and they've been active for about 5 years. So their songs have garnered a total of 240,000 streams, which is about 1,000 USD. And when you split that to 5 people, that's 200 USD per person for 5 years of activity. So most of their revenue comes from paid gigs, but COVID has made that very difficult. And the sad truth is, around 80% of artists are exactly in their position. So the reason why they continue is actually purely due to passion. It is despite the state of the current music industry, and they know it isn't sustainable as a full-time job. So here are some problems with the music industry today. So number one, low transparency, especially pay transparency and dealings with labels. Number two, unfair revenue distribution. So 90% of artists get 10% of the streams, leaving the remaining top 10% with 90% of the total revenue earned by Spotify. And number three, homogeneity is rewarded. So 42% of hot, like Billboard Hot 100 songs are actually in the pop genre, and most of them are actually in English. And number four, this model is outdated in an emerging era of superfans. So in my opinion, the superfan stream should be worth more than a casual listener's stream. Thus, introducing Web3. So in Web2, our metrics for success for music is typically metrics such as popularity, recognizability, as well as the likability of the music to the mass public. And usually an artist is only considered successful if they've gotten lots of views or streams. Thus, through Web3s and DAOs, we want to reimagine that. So we want to instead reward creativity, individuality, and passion instead of popularity. We want to see flourishing communities and generate interactions from artists to fans, as well as among fans. So it rewards not homogeneity, but instead the ability to stand out and engage with the people. So as you can see the quote below, in Web2, success usually means millions of casual listeners on the radio. But in Web3, success can simply just mean 1,000 engaged and devoted fans in a tight-knit community invested in the artist's success. So here are our planned features for Quartz. So Quartz is a decentralized music owning platform built on the Polygon sidechain, which focuses on 3 main pillars: culture, community, and ownership. So the first fundamental feature is a marketplace. So it allows artists to debut new music as a set of core NFTs, which are uniquely numbered. So early supporters are also rewarded, incentivizing people to discover new music and invest in the long-term success of the artist. Next, we want to talk about token utility. So fundamentally, the utility is mostly decided by the artist. So owning an NFT means that you are able to show off early support you get access to exclusive fan events conducted by the artist, which encourages them to be creative when it comes to engaging fans. So NFTs also grant owners the ability to vote on artistic decisions for the NFT that they purchase through mediums such as polls. This is based off, and the amount of voting power they get is based off the base value of the NFTs that they purchase. And the tokens can also be used to grant owners partial ownership to musical stems used in a song, which is a concept I'll talk about later. So a future feature plan is the concept of concerts. So think digital Coachella, where we host unique concerts consisting of well-known and lesser-known artists together. So with each concert attended, a proof of attendance token is awarded, which gives access to future events and can be a utility that you can show off. Donations and tips are also allowed over the concert duration, where 100% of it is going through the artist performing in that particular concert. It is equally divided among the artists based on their screen time, promoting a culture of artists helping each other out and collaborating with each other, as well as ensuring a fairer revenue distribution among all artists. So overall, concerts act as exposure, especially for lesser-known artists, and can cause heightened engagement with fans. So another feature plan is the stem mixer. So this feature is an experimental feature where NFT owners of a certain song are given partial ownership to musical stems. So what this means is Stem Mixer will look like an interactive DAW-like interface. So when I say DAW, it's like digital art workstation such as FL Studio or GarageBand. So Stem Mixer will be an interface that allows user to mix and match musical stems awarded from NFTs to create their very own musical composition. So the idea is that when you purchase a token, you can be awarded a unique random sample of a song. So let's say 5 seconds of a guitar riff used in a song that you can now use in your own compositions. So this further enforces the idea of the music space being positive sum rather than zero sum. And this encourages collaboration between artists as well as between fans. So now that there's that, my proof of concept site is available on chorus.versal.app for you guys to take a look at the UI. Currently, I would say it is not fully functional as I have not deployed the backend. So feel free to build my project from source to experiment with the logic behind. So firstly, there is the homepage displaying the mission of Chords. And then there is the page to upload music as an artist, where a music and image file is equivalent to a unique Chords token. There is also the music marketplace, which is the first feature I mentioned, where music tokens can be bought and sold among fans. And lastly, a page for you to take a look and listen to the song and the NFT, as well as make a purchase. So these were the smart contracts used to build the features of the token and a marketplace, split to 2 files called Chords Token and Chords Marketplace. And this allows the functionality of the NFT utility and uniqueness, as well as the buying, selling, minting, and approving of tokens on a marketplace. So lastly, this site was built with Next.js for the front end, Chakra UI as the UI framework, Flask for the backend, Truffle Suite as the smart contract dev tool, as well as Polygon as my blockchain network of choice because of how blazing fast and cheap the L2 layer is. The code repository is currently publicly open source, and I'll leave the link on it to our Discord later. Yep. So now on to future work. Currently in the process of getting other software and product developers interested in onboarding the project. And in the future, I'll be looking to complete a full featured prototype and conduct iterative feedback based on it, and finally implementing the features, especially the very exciting concerts and stem mixer features. And lastly, I'll work on building the community as well as engaging artists and finally releasing it as a completed product. Yeah, so after all that, thank you so much for listening to my presentation. I'm very humbled to be here. I didn't expect to find myself here because I'm a young Web3 newbie. And in general, I'm just excited to be here to listen and learn from all of you. Yeah, so feel free to contact me on Discord or LinkedIn to talk about anything software or Web3. And thank you so much for listening.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Calista. So very impressive as a solo on this project. Yeah, participate for period, but I think we are running a bit. I think we should go right ahead to the Q&A session with the judges. So judges, please feel free to ask any questions or give like if you have any feedback. Yeah, that's I think that the teams will find that very useful as well. So yeah, I think you can raise your hands. And okay, yeah, go ahead. Who's speaking?
Hi, I'm Eyal from Deep DAO. Great projects, very impressive, all three of them. I'm a question to Quartz. So it looks like the project is for each band. Do you plan to create their own DAO for them so that their own fans would be able to vote? What's your approach to? I love the vision that you only need 1,000 dedicated fans to actually be successful. But how do you organize that in terms of a DAO?
Yeah, sure. From what I understand of DAOs, they're usually flat and like fully democratized. So in essence, that's what I'm trying to build. So it's my hope that we can build like ecosystems and communities around individual artists where fans have a say in the direction that an artist goes. Yeah, so we're also looking for like these interactions to be transparent and fully public, as well as we want to make sure that as much as possible, all the services offered are decentralized and able to be voted on. Yeah.
So did you think about a platform to use for these this multiple DAOs?
Yeah. Currently in my vision, it is like each artist is in charge of like building their own community, but in essence, like Quartz is able to like offer the logic in order to like do like voting as well as like interactions. Yeah.
So it's a learning. You're going to provide them with the know-how.
Yeah.
Okay. Great vision. I loved your vision for the music industry.
Thank you so much.
One more question for Callista. Are we raising hands? Actually, that's.
Oh yeah. Go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, Alvin, you should name someone to speak.
I agree.
Yeah. So okay. Yeah, I think Mark go ahead first, then Brian next.
Sure. Callista, one more question for you. How are you thinking about customer acquisition for musicians?
Hello. Okay. Was that directed to me?
Yes.
Right. Okay. So thinking of acquiring musicians, I think first of all would be to engage like indie musicians such as my friends who are currently like because the Web2 music industry, it feels I've talked to quite a bunch of my friends who are in the music industry and they feel like they are not really heard. So when I talk to them, their feedback is that they're very interested to try out any platform that is able to garner them more fans as well as more exposure. So I think what I'll focus more on first is to build the product to make it more enticing to musicians. And then later on engaging with my network as well as maybe like Twitter, through Discord, like other like music marketplaces such as like sound.xyz as well as Audius. So yeah, that's what I'm planning to do.
Thank you.
Okay, Brian, you have a question?
Right. Yeah. So actually, I was about to ask Callista as well, but we already have a lot of question with her. I guess just one suggestion from my side is like, I really is amazed by that stem mixer idea where you kind of fractionalize your music into different tracks. It's very similar to how you fractionalize image into different layers. So maybe you can think about, how you can solve with some of the legal issues and copyright problems. But that's just my suggestion. I'm sure like you'll think about it later when you're doing the production stuff. So I guess I'll ask questions to level 1. Yeah, I'm just curious, like, have you imagined like how complex the learn to earn task could be, and how do you think you're going to verify those tasks completeness?
Yeah, great question. So level 1 is designed for beginners, teaching beginners. So in terms of the complexity, we want to kind of reduce as much complexity of the task as possible. One thing we do value though is the reflections of learners. So going through a learning journey is one thing, reflecting on it and sharing what you've learned with the community is another. And so I think that's where we're going to start to see those gates, right? Like you can watch a YouTube video, you can read a blog post, cool. But we don't want to gate that. It's also pretty hard to track. But what we do want to recognize is the reflection that someone would have after consuming that content and sharing that with other learners, so that they can learn from each other. We think that we should be able to track that as a mechanism for going on to the next part of the learning journey.
Great, thank you. Okay, maybe should I pass to someone that will be very decentralized?
Yeah. So thanks, Brian.
Dim was
So
raising hand really early, so maybe we could have Dim.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Dim, go ahead. Then Sam next.
Thank you, Brian, for this decentralized, let's say, decision. So this is a question for level 1. So I guess you have understood the problem of DAOs very correctly. So from my experience, activity is the core issue that affects a DAO success in the long term, right? So how do we keep DAOs active? That's what you're trying to solve. And the DAO that solves that is going to be the first very successful DAO. That's very clear in my mind. But also something that I feel that you're missing, and that's where my question is based, is I feel that the core common denominator of any DAO structure is the unified desire of having an appreciating governance token, right? And anybody shying away from that is just also going to lose value and also going to lose activity. So my question is this: where does the demand come from? You're discussing learn to earn. Where does the demand come from? Who's going to buy these tokens that you're going to distribute so freely? And it looks like your supply is going to be unlimited as well, unless you have something else thought out. Thanks.
So your particular question is about the level 1 token itself in terms of its issuance and like why would people care for it? Okay, great question.
Why would people, they would definitely care for it. It's a great project, and I'm very interested in that. I just don't know where the demand would come for the token. Why would I buy it from the open market?
Yeah, I don't think we're actually not interested in the open market level 1 purchasing tokens, right? Like, I think it's this idea of being recognized for adding value to the network. And so there's 2 kind of value drivers of level 1. It's those who create the learning journeys and those who complete them. And we want to recognize those 2 folks for what they're bringing to the table, and so that they have a voice in how level 1 evolves over time. We're less interested in the folks buying level 1 tokens to have a voice. I'm sure that will happen. But what we want to give a voice to are those folks actually participating in the network. And that's the idea of the level 1 token. That's why, like, in terms of limiting supply and stuff like that, we're not too interested in it. Again, low stakes, beginner. This is not like a get rich level 1. Like, hey, if you're part of level 1, you're some kind of status higher than anyone else. This is for folks who are just brand new, want to get into it, want to have a voice, want to be recognized for the value that they're bringing into a network.
Just a reputation. That's okay. Please go ahead.
I wanted to add just like one more tidbit, because we were literally just discussing this before we hopped on here. So like all of the level 1 courses aren't going to issue just like level 1 tokens. That was just for like the purpose of like the demo. But like we have also had like discussions around like, hey, if they let's say the Gitcoin DAO has people going through that particular onboarding process, we should probably just disperse Gitcoin tokens to them, so yeah, so there has been that discussion as well. But yeah, so we have been thinking through, I know what you're saying, because literally in our README, it says, we know another cryptocurrency, do you really need another one? And so then we're kind of just trying to find purpose around that and whatnot. So yeah.
No, thank you for that. And what you said about distributing the DAOs that you're helping out, the tokens of that, makes a lot of sense. So just that's just the point I wanted to have. Great project. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, thanks a lot. So next we have Sam from Superfluid. After that, we can go with Terrence. So that's a final question because we don't have that much time. Sam, please go ahead.
Yeah, so for level one, guys, I think the project is very good. Honestly, by the way, I think everybody's projects here we've seen today are fantastic, right? So I've been very impressed. With you guys at level one, I think I love your ethos around helping beginners and people at the very early part of their journey. One thing to not shy away from, though, is depth in learning tasks, learning processes. There are lots of ways to get surface level knowledge about DAOs right now. I can go to Coinbase has those little earn things I can make $5 from, right? And I can also go to Rabbit Hole and get, walk through some very basic tasks. And those platforms are great, right? It's great to get a beginner's level knowledge through things like that. What I saw, snippets of in your platform so far is a kind of real onboarding process that's not service level, right? And I think that DAOs have lots of people coming to them who have learned things from these other, early learn to earn models, but they still don't really know what to do when they show up. So maybe one question for you is, how are you thinking about the go-to-market process with DAOs? It seems like there might be some kind of partnership angle you're trying to take here. I'm curious as to how you're considering that.
Yeah, so I'll jump right in front of Ray. So one of the this didn't fit in the scope of the hackathon, but one of the big proponents that I've been really considering is similar to actually what Gitcoin has with the bounty boards or whatever. And I think that this does exist in other platforms. I could be wrong, but I think that this does exist as well. But just thinking about a different or maybe better way to do it. But instead of Discord, it's kind of just being so overwhelming, and you're okay, what do I do? It's hey, what if we just have level1.com/insert your DAO name, and so then you sign in with your wallet or with your just regular authentication, and so then there's essentially a task board, and let's say there's tokens allocated to those bounties that you can do, so that there's actual actionable items that you can do to participate in the DAO. I hope that that's one of those solutions to the answer that you're to the question that you're asking.
I'll just add one more thing because talk about go-to-market. So Dim hit on hey, this is the absolute pain for DAOs. So we've had no problem engaging DAOs. I mean, hey, we got this idea to engage all these members who are coming into your Discord, and then you just never hear from them, right? And so they're yeah, we'll try anything, right? So so getting DAOs onto level one, I don't think is going to be a challenge, especially those ones who have had a lot of interest but not much activity. One of the things that I think is going to drive a lot of success is community. And when you jump into a Discord, although it's filled with a lot of members, feeling it doesn't feel like a community. What we think is going to feel like a community is when you complete tasks with other folks who are learning with you. I think cohort onboarding is going to be huge. So this idea of being able to say, hey, you're new into the DAO, there's 15 other people new into the DAO. Here's a learning journey you can go on together. Here's interactions that you can have to get to know each other, the reasons for being. I think you're going to start to see these kind of pods form of people who have come into a DAO at around the same time, hopefully because of different ideas, different paths to get there. And we think that's going to be really powerful. We think that DAOs are going to see that and want to tap into that. And to Adam's point, eventually level one could become the level one for anything around about the DAO. So it's like it's that home base where you can go to and see what tasks need to get done, what learnings need to get completed, and complete them with folks. And I think that's the biggest thing missing with Discord right now, is that it's just overwhelming. And we want to kind of break that up, especially with folks in a low stakes environment where it's like, hey, we're all new. We're all trying to figure it out together. And that's intimidating when it's thousands of people, but when you're 10 people or 5 people in a learning pod, that's exciting.
Nice. Yeah, I'm excited to see what you guys continue to build there. It'll be cool.
Thanks, Sam.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Sam. So we have a final question from Terrence. Yeah, please go ahead.
Hey, hi, thanks so much. I have a question to DigiFund. So when speaking about the voting power you mentioned is based on NFT. So I'm just thinking like how you're going to do this. And can you please explain, is there any like DigiFund token, like governance token, so that let's say normal folks like us, we can invest, then we also make something so-called decision to the DAO. So basically, I'm really interested about this one. And you have bought the land on Decentraland. I'm in the Decentraland, so I'm looking forward. So I really think this is a good idea for me, because you're working for so many people, but we really want to know about how is the DAOs work in this context, because you never mentioned about your token, governance token, you talk about NFT all the time. So can you further explain?
Yeah, sure. So yeah, actually we are now planning to publish tokens, and we want to use NFT instead of tokens. So yeah, every NFT we have ever published will assign them to a certain value. And when you use, we use snapshot anyway. When you use snapshot to do votings, and the contract can check what's the NFT and how much months you have, and then this contract can calculate your voting power. So the reason we didn't like publish token is that I think the liquidity of ERC20 token is too high, and it's not really healthy for the DAO community, I think. So yeah, that's the main reason. Another thing is that what we want to do is to like create some NFTs on the metaverse. So by doing this without token, I think we can make things like be more fun. Yeah, so that's DigiFund. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Can I just follow up with a little small question, Alvin?
Okay, yeah. If it's a short one, yeah.
Yeah, I actually saw your decks. It shows, you have 15% of NFT that are non-transferable. How do you choose the experts that you called? Who's going to hold this 15%, and then what's their incentive of holding it?
Yeah, sure. So this 15% is actually give the early entry people in our community. So the experienced designer we're talking about is actually a part of the designers who are in our community in very early stage, and there are some like individual designers and some even some students, but they can do works. We think they can do works well, and yeah, they are the like some of the most early supporters to us. So yeah, I should say ability plus time is our makes our decision. And for the community members, we just drop this NFTs to the people, the members who getting our community very early and give us like a lot of supports. The support may include they invite many people, and they do many activities for us on the metaverse. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, thanks a lot to all the judges and participants. So judges, if you're available, we are going to continue on with the multi-chain DApp segment. Yeah, so you're welcome to join that as well. So and thanks to all of our teams. We'll get back to you on the final results tomorrow night. So tomorrow night here in Singapore, but morning or afternoon, wherever you are. So yeah, thanks to all of you. So all right, the next we scheduled a break, but I think we're running a bit over time, so we are going right ahead to the multi-chain DApp team's pitches right now. So like first of all, we have WeBuild. Seraphim from WeBuild is going to present his project. So please feel free to share your screen right now, Seraphim.
Yeah, hi. Hi, everyone. We do WeBuild.
Hey guys.
It's multi-chain payment infrastructure for GameFi. Here is several problems why GameFi still don't ready for mass adoption. It's why so projects use different isolated ecosystems, for example, Near, Polygon, Phantom, and others. New users right now don't know how to use DEX as cross-chain bridges, and also bridging can take from 10 minutes to several days, and new users who just came to crypto space, they don't know how to do it and they don't want to figure it out how to do it. And we did multi-chain payment infrastructure for payments in DeFi and NFT marketplaces with instant cross-chain bridging. It works because we have our liquidity pools are on target chain. So when user pay, for example, with Ethereum to buy Polygon NFT, we have our execution liquidity pool on Polygon network, and we buy it like in 10 seconds, and the buyer receives their NFT token. And later, once a day, we rebalance our execution liquidity pool in one transaction with finding best path how to do it, because we aggregate several cross-chain bridges to find best way with less transaction fee and the fastest way to cross-chain our tokens. Also, projects can use ready-to-use checkout pages for sell NFTs or tokens with perfect UI. For example, you can see that project can use our checkout page, which support all wallets like MetaMask, Wallet Connect, Rainbow, Coinbase for selling their in-game token. For example, crypto subscriptions, NFTs, minting NFTs, and we accept all tokens in all networks, not only on EVM, also on non-EVM blockchains like Near. And in 10 seconds, a user will receive his NFT or token on target chain, for example, on Polygon. That's how it can work with cryptovoxels, for example. Right now, they use Ethereum and Polygon. For example, they have Polygon items and Polygon name. And here is big complex guide how to bridge token, how to use. There's an explanation that user have to have Matic token for pay for gas, and new users just don't know what means gas in this moment and just leave this project and don't want to use it. And if cryptovoxel will use WeBuild, in the moment, user can pay with any token, he will receive his item or his token in 10 or 30 seconds. Later, we find best path how to rebalance our execution pool and rebalance it once a day in one transaction. So it's pretty cheap for us. I want to show you our live demo. It's a demo where NFT actually on Polygon, but I will pay with Binance token and Binance testnet. Right now we support only gas tokens, but later we will support all tokens like stable coins and others. User can choose token, press mint, and pay for this NFT. We will wait till this transaction will confirmed on Binance, and when our smart contract on Polygon network will mint, and send NFT to buyer. This is our transaction on Polygon network where our smart contract do it in one transaction. So we mint and send NFT in one transaction, and because of this NFT on Polygon, it's cheap. Yeah, here it is. Our smart contract just minted this NFT and sent it to the buyer. Yeah, that's our team. Our CTO, and the crazy great guys from our development team. And yeah, feel free to contact me on Telegram and join our community. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Seraphim. So yeah, payments, like cross-chain payments across like different chains, especially like EVM chains, Polygon, as well as Binance Smart Chain. Yeah, thanks a lot for your presentation. So coming up next, we have so I'm not sure how to pronounce this. I think it's Cheese Fry Finance. So yeah, Cheese Fry, like please join us today. But please go ahead and yeah, we have like Fondue as well as Pat Foot from Cheese Fry Finance. Like please feel free to share your screen and go ahead with your pitch. Oh, Tina. So we are going to have all of the teams are going to pitch, and then we'll have a Q&A session afterwards.
Okay, thanks.
So Anne, Pat Foot, and Fondue from Cheese Fry Finance, and Kiki, please go ahead with your pitch right now. Hi, Kiki, can you hear me?
Hi, everyone.
Kiki,
hello.
Please go ahead with your pitch right now.
Okay, sure. Yeah, let me share my screen real quick. Sorry, just one sec. Could you guys please confirm that you see my screen?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
Hi everyone. So my name is Kiki. I'm here on behalf of Jeffrey Finance. I'm here with my team and Padfoot and Fondue, and we're presenting Jeffrey Finance. So without any further ado, let me just get started. So Jeffrey is a DeFi protocol which supports interest-free, self-repaying, and zero liquidation risk loans and cheapest on-chain leverage trading tools using flash loan infrastructure. As such, you can tokenize your future yield and leverage your wealth without risk of liquidation and experience fully decentralized on-chain margin trading tools with super low fees. Our mission is to solve existing DeFi market challenges, which are related to capital inefficiencies, correlated yield strategies, and underutilization of the flash loan services. And before I go to the vision statement, let me just talk a little bit about the flash loan services, because so our team believes that flash loans, these instantaneous and unsecured DeFi lending solutions where a loan is borrowed and paid back in one transaction, really offer unique investment and trading opportunities. There is no waiting period, no risk, no need for collateral, really. Only a customized transaction tailored to your needs, and limitless trading and investment opportunities right at your fingertips, from collateral swaps to arbitrage, portfolio balancing, so on and so forth. However, it's worth mentioning that flash loans, despite so many advantages, have seen slower uptake by users. Undoubtedly, this is because flash loans are complex and require good technical knowledge for execution. Our team believes that there exists huge untapped potential around flash loan services, and we could make them more accessible to the general public by developing one-click, user-friendly flash loan powered applications. So this brings me to our vision statement, which is to build a robust and accessible DeFi infrastructure in a secure and transparent way, and to support multi-chain interoperability and for value accretion toward the broader DeFi ecosystem. Fly me to the moon. So our very first product is about self-repaying loans. So our product really allows users to deposit stable coins, DAI USDC or USDT as collateral to borrow against, and deploys this collateral into DeFi yield aggregators and utilizes it for flash loans to generate yield that will automatically pay off the loan. So in order to do this, we have a couple of products in place. So first one is a Friar. It's like a vault which collects the user base assets, and afterwards these assets are put to work to earn yield. In order to diversify the source of yield, 20% is set aside as collateral for flash loans, while the remaining 80% goes to earn finance vaults. Once you make the deposit, you can mint up to 50% of your deposited amount in the form of FUSD, which is a future yield-backed asset, which is pegged to a basket of top stablecoin assets at a 1-to-1 ratio. As mentioned previously, there is no interest, there is no liquidation risk, and the earned yield just pays off the debt. Another product which supports the self-repaying loan architecture is Oven. It's like a debt converter where the interest that is produced by Earn Finance and the flash loan service fees are thrown into periodically. Additionally, a really great feature of Oven is that it allows users to stake their FUSD and have them converted into a stable coin over time at a fixed 1-to-1 ratio. So here, let me just give you like a very short demo of how self-repaying loans work. Here. So this is what a Friar looks like. So you just go ahead and select the stable coin that you want to make your deposit in. I just selected USDT. You just select the amount that you want to deposit, hit the deposit, confirm your transaction. Once that's done, you can just go ahead and borrow up to 50% of the value, as mentioned previously. And following this, you just wait for your collateral to be put to work to generate yield and pay down your debt. So as collateral generates yield over time, the amount which is available for withdrawal goes up. So you can just come back, check back in a while, and withdraw the available balance. If you're looking to repay your debt earlier than the protocol does, you can just head to the Repay tab, choose stablecoin or FUSD, or a combination of both to make adjustments to your debt. Finally, should you find yourself wanting to, close your position, but you don't have stablecoins or FUSD available, don't worry, you can always use your collateral to self-liquidate. So this pretty much rounds it up for how Friar works. And then we have Oven. So in terms of Oven, you just determine like the amount of your synthetic derivative, FUSD, that you want to stake. As yield flows in, Oven converts your FUSD into grillable tokens here. And once you hit grill, your FUSD is converted into a stable coin of your choice, USDT in this case. And once that's done, you can just withdraw it directly to your wallet. So that's pretty much it for Oven. So all in all, we create these self-repaying loans with the idea of having diversified yields, zero liquidation risk, and low fees and low maintenance. So uncorrelated competitive high-yield strategies really guarantee that that repayment will not be interrupted by market fluctuations. There is no liquidation risk, so your deposited collateral can never be lost. And finally, because the automatic loan repayment architecture demands like really no time or effort or resources, it's just low fee, low maintenance. In addition to our two products, we have the third one, which is Cheese Factory. This one is a place where farming and staking really take place. So user just deposits capital to the farm pools and they earn cheese governed tokens in return. As we see on Cheese Factory, we have 6 different pools available, which support both LP staking and direct staking. So we have FUSD, Cheese, AllUSD, and meme pools for direct staking. And then we have FUSD 3CRV pool and Cheese Ether LP pool on Sushi for LP staking. And now let me introduce you to Flash Leverage. This is one of our Flash loan powered applications where we leverage Flash loans as the underlying infrastructure to create fair, accessible, efficient, and transparent financial solutions. So Flash Leverage is really the cheapest on-chain leverage trading tool, which is powered by Flash loans. And it combines Flash loans with on-chain lending protocols such as AVV2 to provide a leverage solution at a low interest rate and allows users to open, hold, close both long and short positions and add margin if needed. So here, let me give you like a very short demo of how Flash Leverage works. So this is what our Flash Leverage page looks like. It's on testnet environment for now. We're looking into deploying it on Ethereum mainnet in the beginning of February or so. So we start the interaction with Flash Leverage by opening an account. And you can choose if you want to either short or long, if you want to open either short or long position. So once that's done, you have to go ahead and approve the collateral spend on our protocol. So you just click on approve. Once that's confirmed, we can go ahead and let's see. Determine the amount of collateral that you will be providing to for opening the position. Afterwards, you can just determine swap loss tolerance, which I put at 0.5. I confirm. Next, I can go ahead and set leverage, which I'll set at around 2. And please note that at this moment, the amount of Ether is automatically determined. So this will be the amount of Ether that you'll be longing. So now I'm going to click on long, and that's it. I've opened a long position on Chiffrey. Now, if we scroll down, we can see some information about the position. So the collateral that we've provided on the lending protocol, which will be AVI in this case, the amount that we've borrowed, health factor of our position, maximum LTV, current LTV, liquidation threshold. And down here, we have information about the amount that we've deposited on the lending protocol and the amount that we've borrowed. Up here, we have information about the order. And on the same place, we can add margin if needed. So if you think that you're like very close to the liquidation threshold, you can always click on add margin, determine the amount that you want to add, and just click confirm. So once the transaction is confirmed, you can also see at the very end of the page that the information is updated. So here, like you can see that you've deposited DAI of around 100 DAI. Finally, if you want to close your position, you simply click on close. And here you get information about the estimated tokens to get. And you can always determine the swap loss tolerance. And once that's done, you can just click on confirm and you've successfully closed a position on Chiffrey. With Flash Leverage, we really try to create these product, which is very capital efficient. It's done through one-click trading experience, and we just have like super low fees. So you can leverage your capital through flash loans and amplify your trading position. You can do all of this through like super user-friendly one-click solution, and you can do this with record low fees of around 3 to 4%, which is on average 80% cheaper as opposed to what other platforms charge. And what's super interesting is that all of this is done through flash loans, like this underlying infrastructure which enables this user-friendly one-click solution. It's all the flash loan infrastructure really. Talking about low fees, in addition to having this like very, very low rock bottom fees, we also have some incentive programs in place. The Flash Leverage users have their yields enhanced by cheese rewards, which means that when you open an account, you can claim some cheese rewards. When you open a position, when you close a position, when you hold the position for a period of time, you can claim some rewards. Additionally, we also have cheese-free flash loan mining program in place, which means that after you take a flash loan, and as you see, opening a position, closing a position, all of this require these utilizing flash loans, which is not like visible because it's all underlying infrastructure. But as you're using the flash loans, you can actually claim additional cheese rewards proportional to the amount of flash loan that you've used. Yeah, we have like different rewards in place in order to incentivize more users to participate on Chifri. To wrap it up, our roadmap, just a little bit about a roadmap. So in the first quarter of 2022, we are really trying to work on introducing a BSC. We are working towards building DAO. We want to introduce more collateral types and also work towards yield diversification. In quarter 2 of this year, we are looking at building full on-chain governance system. We are trying to organize some hackathons in order to find some like-minded people who also want to contribute to building more flash loan-powered application to create these user-friendly decentralized space and redefine the existing ecosystem. And also we're looking at developing a cross-layer FUSD. So this is pretty much it for Chifri Finance. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening to our presentation. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us via Discord or Telegram. We'll be more than happy to give you more details about the product and our platform. And yeah, thank you so much. We're really excited to be here. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Kiki. So yeah, Chifri Finance, they provide like different self-paying loans as well as like flash loan functionalities. Yeah, thanks for your pitch. So finally, joining us today is Flux Protocol. This will be the last team pitch for today. So we have Chris from Flux Protocol. Chris, please feel free to begin your pitch.
Hey guys, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Perfect. I'll leave it open. In this, I won't do a full screen mode because I'll also go into the actual application. And very nice to meet you guys. First of all, I would like to start with a question to everyone. Would you guys pay a bank an annual rate just to store your assets, your fiat? Is there anyone in the jury who would do that?
Nope.
No? Okay.
Hey guys, can you see my screen?
Yes. And the next question would be,
perfect. I'll leave it open. In this, I won't do a full screen mode because I'll also go into the actual application. And very nice to meet you guys. First of all, I would like to start with a question.
Sorry, Kiki, can you mute yourself?
Pay a bank an annual rate just to store your assets?
Yeah, Kiki, can you mute? Okay, thanks. Yeah, Chris, please go ahead.
Okay. Anyway, okay, I'll just go into it then. Okay, thanks everyone, and thanks for getting us or deciding for Flux protocol to be amongst the final participants in the current hackathon and competition. So what is Flux? Flux protocol is a borderless lending protocol where low transaction fees and cross-chain interoperability are the reality. So as you know, it's a lending and borrowing platform, but with integrated cross-chain mechanism. So you don't have to take your assets out of Flux, go to a cross-chain swap, like any swap, multi-chain or Polybridge, and you can just cross-chain your collaterals from network A to network B with one click, and then continue on what you want to do in DeFi on another chain, right? And we started off on Conflux network because that's where the core members met. And since then, we have deployed Flux protocol on 7 blockchains. And one of the things that was very important to us from the very beginning was that we do not fork any other protocol out there, for example, Compound or Aave, because we wanted to be able to develop on top of it. We wanted to be able to innovate and integrate new products. And if there are any problems, we wanted to know where they are and how to fix them. So all our contracts are original, are open source, and have been audited by CertiK. As mentioned, we have integrated cross-chain functionality, which I'll show just now. It's actually very straightforward, right? I'll log into it. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I see your screen.
Okay, perfect. It might be my internet just being slow. So this is how the new Flux version looks like. This was also part of the achievements that we have done within this competition. Yeah, let me enter my password quickly. Okay, that's not it.
Hey, Chris, I don't think we're able to see your screen. You need to share the different window.
Oh yeah, we see the pitch screen.
Okay. Okay, then I'll just go through the presentation. A next feature that we have is that the collateral rates of the assets you supply into it are independent from the liquidation rate, right? So this way we can guarantee a low liquidation rate at 110%, while having a better security for the different types of assets that we put in. And the reason why we set the liquidation rate at 110% is that in the early times, we only decided to deploy Flux protocol on high performance networks, right, where people do not have to worry about network congestions, making their assets to get liquidated, like what happened in May this year on Ethereum, and during the Black Swan event in March in 2020, where just so many assets got liquidated and the users could not do anything about it. Let me get into the next one. So the first milestone, the first thing we did was to create the decentralized money markets, which means lending and borrowing of different crypto assets. And we began with the liquidity mining, right, to get additional APR for your lending and borrowings, and also to distribute the governance rights to all our users. Afterwards, we developed our V2. V2 is similar to Alpaca. It's a leverage lending platform where you can obtain assets under collateralized with a 10x leverage and use them to maximize your yields. For example, on Spooky Swap, on Phantom, right, where you just want to have a USDC to USDT pair, earn the rights and some other APRs in addition. In V3, we integrated the cross-chain mechanism so people can just seamlessly get their assets from network A to network B without having to withdraw their assets from the platform. And in the next version, which we are working on, is a long tail lending protocol. What this essentially means is that we can enable more assets to be borrowed and lended on top of Flux with a low market cap, right? So for now, we have only been choosing like top 50 assets across all different blockchain networks because we know they're safe, but there's a huge market for low cap markets, assets, which can also grow exponentially. This is a roadmap you can look at, but I think the most important ones are that we're deployed on 7 different networks. It is still the most popular one on the OEC chain. OEC is the OKEX chain, and we're a global community. Just here are some stats that you can look at: 50,000 followers on Twitter and more than 18,000 members on Telegram. And the 2 achievements we did during this competitions where we updated the complete UI and the UX to make it more user-friendly, and also for users to be able to look at detailed protocol metrics, right? Like the health factor, how much is utilized, and what it means for you if you have stored X amount of assets into it. We can look at the old version and the new versions later on, so you can see a difference and that we have been working on it. And prior to this, the Flux V2, the leveraged lending, was essentially a separate market, a separate DApp under the same under the same name. But in this version, we have integrated Flux V2 into our original lending and borrowing platform. And this increases the liquidity that users can tap into when they want to do leverage lending or other DeFi activities on top of Flux, right? Because the markets are bigger there. And just some more information to Flux and the 01 team. We call ourselves a team with innovative spirit and pioneering experience, focusing on the blockchain development. And most of our core members come from well-known universities and internet companies across China, but not limited to China. And products besides Flux that we have done are Hotpot, Whoops, Vigos, and Oops. And Hotpot is the product that enables the cross-chaining of the assets between the different Flux protocols on the different networks. And the reason why we created Hotpot is not that because there isn't enough options out there in the market, but it was because the options out there are standalone products that did not perfectly suit the needs of our users who want to be able to cross-chain their collaterals from chain A to chain B. So yeah, we built Hotpot protocol to be able to cross-chain our assets, leveraging Poly Network. Poly Network is another cross-chain product out there. And yeah, here are some contact information from our webpage, but I'll just leave it there. And now I want to get into Flux. So as you can see, this is how the old Flux looked like.
Sorry, Chris. I think we can't see the screen with your Flux demo. But also, okay, I have to note that we are actually running a bit over time. So
okay,
yeah. Can you
where can I here stop sharing, and then I'll share the screen again and get this. Can you see it now?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay. So this is the old version of Flux. It's very simple. You have your functions here. You can see the different money markets, and here you can change to the different networks. And the new version, the homepage looks like this. It also has a buffer when you get into it, so the experience is better. Then you click on the app, and up here you can select the chain you want to use Flux on, and then once here we have selected BSC, you can see all the different assets on there. Here, this would be the dashboard. If you have connected, you can see your money markets, what you have supplied, what you have borrowed. Here you can do some staking on top of it. And this is actually the refinance mechanism. So once it's connected, you can just simply cross-chain your assets Here's a history button. Here's an oracle. And this is Flux v2, which we have been developing. So this is how Flux v2 looked at like. You were able to deploy, to increase your collateral in there and then choose a leverage for the specific pair you want to farm and then go for it. And in the new version, one second, how I have to move this here. Here I would need to connect my wallet and then you can look at it. So it's all integrated into the one Flux platform instead of having the need to go from Flux from Flux v1 to Flux v2. And yeah, it's currently still being fine-tuned, and then we'll send it out for a final audit by Certic before we launch it. Yeah, so if the time is insufficient, I think that would be it from my end.
Okay, all right. Thanks a lot, Chris. So yeah, a Flux protocol, like doing like different lending, under leveraged loans, as well as like different like cross-chain loans as well. Yeah, thanks for your presentation. So we are running a bit over time, so I'm going to introduce some of the judges that have just joined us for this final round of presentations. First of all, we have Queenie from IM Token. IM Token is doing a wallet for like Ethereum as well as other chains. Rohan from Biconomy. And we also have Tina, the founder of the Z Institute. So they are a blockchain education institute based in Taiwan. Joining. So these are judges that are joining us in addition to the judges that have previously joined us for across like different tracks as well. Yeah. So we don't have time for a break right now, so we'll just go right into the Q&A. If for judges, like please raise your hands in Zoom. Just click the reactions button and click raise your hand, and then we'll get to you like one by one as long as we have time. So yeah, please go ahead and raise any questions, or if you have any feedback, please go ahead. So Tina, I see that Tina has raised her hand. Yeah, please go ahead, Tina.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So the first verse is a question for WeBuild. So I'd like to ask the team, like, how do they achieve decentralization in the cross-chain bridge? Or is it like run by a centralized validator? Like keep checking, keep maintaining the two chains that is exchanging assets?
Yeah, at this moment we do it centralized way. So yeah, we spend our own money from our execution pool to buy and send NFT. So in this case, only we have risk. I mean, no, like game or buyer don't have risk this way. We send our own money, yes, and the bridge received money later.
Yeah, feedback is that I saw some decentralized cross-chain bridge solution that they open source the validator code for others to become validators and use a reputation mechanism to slash like on dishonest validators. Yeah, so our validators have to stake to join to be a validator of the bridge. Yeah, that can be one solution.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I will definitely.
Yeah, and another question is that how do you prevent if some malicious contract also minted the same NFT on the new chain? For example, if when you transfer NFT from BSC to Polygon, but how can users, like for example, yeah, a hacker just has a very similar contract and mints the same NFT on Polygon? Then, like, how do you distinguish?
We don't breach NFTs. NFTs still on Polygon. We just receive money on Binance Smart Chain and buy and send NFT on Polygon, and later we do this cross-chain breach ourselves. So we don't breach NFTs. NFTs still on the target chain.
Oh, I see.
Game. Yeah.
Okay. And another question is for Jeffrey Finance. Yeah, I'd like to ask that what's the relationship between flash loan and and opening long or short position. I'm not really sure about the linkage between the flash loan and the leverage part.
So basically, we utilize different DeFi protocols as DeFi building legacy. So we utilize Uniswap and Aave. So you just using your DAI, let's say you are depositing 100 DAI, we borrow more collateral with the flash loan and deposit those DAI into Aave. So basically, the leverage is achieved by borrowing more capital from the flash loan.
Oh, I see. But the long or short position, they open for a very long time. So, so isn't the flash loan already paid back?
Yes. So there are several steps within the single transaction, and the flash loan is also paid off within the same transaction. So we deposit your ETH is converted to DAI on Uniswap, and your DAI is converted to ETH on Uniswap. ETH is deposited as collateral on Aave, and we borrow DAI against Aave and repay the flash loan within the same single transaction.
Oh, I see. And that can increase capital efficiency.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. So what if a lot of people start using your platform and the pool of flash loan becomes maybe out of money to be borrowed? Will something like this happen?
The best thing is the entire flash loan is also paid back in the same transaction. So if we have let's say 1 million of assets in our pool, when someone borrows the flash loan, he will pay off the flash loan in the same transaction itself. So the 1 million pool stays the same; it doesn't deplete.
I see. Do you have statistics of how much capital efficiency is increased compared to the traditional solution?
Don't have the numbers right now.
That depends on the leverage you open. It's just like the traditional leverage app. Like if you open three multiple leverage, you will save like 2 part of 3 of it.
Yeah, I see. Okay. Yeah, thank you for the answer. That's all for my feedback.
All right, thanks a lot, Tina. So I realized I forgot to introduce another judge, Daniel, from NIA. So yeah, he's also joining us as a judge for this track today. Yeah, anyone else? Any of the other judges? Do you have any questions or feedback to give to the participants? Please feel free to raise your hands. Taylor, I see that you have unmuted yourself, but do you have anything to say?
Yeah, I was trying to define the raise hand button. So I want to ask to Cherry Finance, or is it called Cherry? What's the difference between Chemix, the self-proclaimed, the more famous self-proclaimed law versus Cherry or Cheese?
So on Alchemix, 100% of the assets are deposited to Green Finance. But what we have introduced is a part of it is utilized for flash loans. When you deposit your assets, the APY that is earned is from Green Finance as well as the interest earned from the fees earned from the flash loan pools. And apart from that, we also provide different collateral types.
Yeah, I'm just going to add real quick on that. It's about diversified yield strategy, which sets us apart from Alchemix.
Okay, cool.
All right. Thanks a lot, Taylor, for your questions. Does anyone else have any questions right now?
Yeah. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. Yes, Daniel.
Yeah. I also have a question for Cheese Price. So based on my previous experience about flash loan, gas limit is one of the major challenge for a lot of students to it. Have any like problems going to the gas limit on different chains? How do you solve the problems?
Your question is about the gas limits?
Yeah.
Right now, we haven't seen any problem as such with our application whereby we are exceeding the gas limits of Ethereum, and like we are still on the testing for the leverage application. So we haven't tried our actual opportunities.
Okay. So have you ever compared the gas consumption of TFY with other maybe flash loan providers? RB is your gas usage smaller or larger there?
Just for the should be similar. For the leverage application, we utilize DeFi smart accounts, which is adopted by the study app. So some of the transactions are done on chain, some are done on chain with the gas fees.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
And also one more thing about gas fees, we've actually seen in our communities that the Ethereum network gas is so high on the connectivity price, but as I mentioned, we are on integration, which will most probably take place in the middle of February and February. So that's also part of our plan.
Okay, cool. Sounds good.
All right, thanks Daniel for your questions. So yeah, there's a final call for any questions from the judges. All right, if there are no other questions, I'd like to thank all of you, the judges and participants, for joining us today in this round, this track of like finalists. We will, as I said earlier today, we will have the final results out tomorrow. So if you're welcome, you're very welcome to join us on the metaverse. We have a cryptovoxels address or on YouTube in the comment section. So I'd like to thank all of you for your participation. And finally, for the closing event of the night, we plan for Ben Cho, CEO of Bybit, to give us a closing speech for tonight. So let me just check on the status. Is my audio okay? Like, is there any like buzzing sounds in my audio? Let me know. Okay, one minute for the final speech. But yeah, like, can all of you let me know if my audio is off or anything? Can you hear me fine?
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly. I'm not a judge.
Okay.
I can hear you well.
Okay, all right, thanks. So please welcome Ben Cho, CEO of Bybit. He's going to give us a closing speech for today's event. Yeah, please hold on. I think he's just joining the room right now.
Recording in progress.
Hello, hi Ben. Hi Ben, can you hear me? So thanks for joining us today for the closing speech of today's session. Yeah, please go ahead with your speech.
Awesome. Hi guys.
Nice to meet everyone. My name is Ben. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Biped. We are also one of the biggest contributors for Moledao. So very happy to be here, and thank you for inviting me. So we are doing a closing speech, and most likely I will be speaking more on the behalf of Moledao, and really taking this chance and opportunity to kind of give you an overview of what Moledao does and what we're trying to achieve here. Okay, so to put it simple, Moledao is a social platform that kind of allows all the blockchain developers or enthusiasts to learn about the latest blockchain information or contribute or ways to contribute yourself into a blockchain tech, especially in the developing sector. We aim to keep blockchain enthusiasm up to date with the latest innovation with the help of experienced blockchain pioneers and innovators. So Moledao's vision and mission is to provide a interactive platform for blockchain talents, contributing to the development of blockchain industry and provide a growth opportunities for every blockchain supporters and developers as such. So in short, we hope to kind of empower the Web3 ecosystem through developers. Moledao is planned to achieve our vision through 3 basic steps. Step 1, we plan to hold events and build our communities and also educational content. Through this, we'll be able to retain developers and gather projects globally. Step 2, I think Moledao is trying to focus really on the matching of the talents and projects, because Moledao will be working with quite a bit of existing projects, such as currently the Polygon and all the famous projects, and really connecting the talents to the ongoing exciting projects in space. Lastly, not least, Moledao will try to have its own university, the Moledao University. So providing a more systematic quality content, as well as really educational scheduled courses to incubate developers, learn from 0 to 1. Really, if you are a new to the space, and I understand that Web3 and blockchain can be quite difficult, and that's what Moledao is really target for. Really that kind of a 0 to 1 knowledge. As long as you're interested in the space, we have a course for you and design, and also more of the human interactions regarding to the Web3 projects. Okay, so what is Moledao? I think with all that being said, it's number one, it's obviously a still developing project, but it's really focused on the education and the hackathon aspect of the industry. So Moledao has been established since 2021, which is last year. And with that being said, these 2 sections are actually very mutually empowering, the education and hackathon. The educational content really helps to help hackathon participants learn super quick and improve fast about the project they're trying to hackle. And obviously we've seen that through this, even this hackathon, what young people, or especially the new developer in the space, they need to understand is what is the hype and what is people actually mostly interested in currently, and what problem needs to be solved on the current pace of the industry. So that's what Moledao can reach the gap, providing that content to our developers, right, through education as well as the hackathon. Okay, and also we see that a lot of the quality of the education resources in the industry is quite lacking. So I think Moledao is really trying to reach the gap there and provide a up-to-date education resources, such as technical workshops, interviews with the professionals, and the inventory videos for builders and upskills to refresh their knowledge and really understand what is going on and what is the current problem they're trying to solve. So for other aspect, which is the hackathon, Moledao currently hold numerous Web3 technical workshops with established protocols such as Polygon network, mask protocols, and Economy. I'm sure there's going to be more partners and more events ongoing as we go, as we build. But the goal is to really provide you the front line of what's going on, right? And provide the developers of what is the most urgent issues that we need to solve currently, and provide that space and for you to grow, right? So since the Moledao Web3 Hackathon event went live on November 15th, the growth and the attention has just been outstanding, and thank you for the community and all the support. The Moledao, Twitter account had been growing dramatically, and overall, there were more than 500 developers registered on the Moledao platform, and the interest for participating the hackathon has been more than 150. And all of the 41 top quality projects and all the judges, there was more than enough, and also 9 innovative participant projects existing. So, in the past kind of more than 50 days, I would say, to be precise, 54 days, there were a number of highlights. Just a few I can list here. 7 workshops, panels we hold, featuring Mask, Aragon, Utopia Labs, Superfloyd, Polygon, Bitomin, and other projects that give us really good content. And in China, we've held live mini hackathons for 2 days and 1 night, with nearly really more than 100 participants seriously working on the ideas overnight to create their white papers, code, and video demos before presenting their videos. So thank you for all of that interest. And all of this event helped to make really Moledao, the first hackathon, a super memorable and achieving experience, okay? I think I've said quite a bit about Moledao. One more thing I'd like to mention is everyone knows that not only the bounty we provide is very generous and very good in terms of the bounty reward pool. In fact, the bounties are more like you'll be worth in terms of total or bounties to complete based on that, okay? Hello? I hope my internet is okay. I see a signal. But anyways, last or not least, I think this event, to summarize, the level of competition was very high, with some of the existing projects already being deployed on chain. And we feel that we could do much more to encourage earlier projects and protocols to show promise and potentials and then kind of next spectral. So Moledao is giving 3 early Mo awards, 1 for each track, to recognize less mature projects, which has also shown creativities and potentials. Lastly, not least, guys, I would really like to congratulate all of you and the judges, the participants, for the great participations and for being part of this journey. And together, I'm sure that we can achieve some more in the future. Okay, thank you, guys.
Thank you very much, Ben, for being a contributor to Moledao, as well as joining us today for this speech. So yeah, I'd like to tell everyone also about this early Mole Awards. We know that some of these projects that have been shortlisted for the finals, they are fairly mature, and then we would like to recognize like some of these earlier stage projects that just started development during the hackathon process itself. So we really want to support all early talent across the blockchain ecosystem. So we have like 3 awards, one for each track for these early stage projects. And not only that, we plan to have a lot more activities in the future to help you guys grow along your journey as well. We have mentors across the VC industry, across the blockchain industry who can help you. We plan to have further partnerships, bounties, and we're thinking of ways to function as like an incubator to help you scale your projects up and get more users on board. So like, please stay tuned. Over the course of next week, we'll have more details on the Early Mole Award as well as our next activities. So thanks to all of you for that. And thanks to the judges. Please fill in the sheets that we have sent you. If you haven't received the sheets, please let me know on Telegram, Discord, or wherever else that you're in contact with us. And yeah, I'd like to thank all of you for joining us today. And please stay tuned. Tomorrow we'll announce the final results around the same time tomorrow. So yeah, I'd like to thank all of you tonight. Yeah, so that's it for today. Please join us again tomorrow, either on YouTube or on Cryptovoxels.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ben.